Hello everybody, welcome to Totally Tabled. My name is Shaggy, and today I'm doing a full solo playthrough of ROVE. In this quick playing 18-card microgame, we play as a ROVE, a results-oriented, versatile explorer. This little cute robot guy. We're used to survey vast reaches of space, but unfortunately we've just crashed on an unfamiliar planet, and we now need to reconfigure our modules in order to get to safety. I've got everything already set up. You just need to take your 6 modules, shuffle them up, and put them in this 2x3 grid in a random order. You then take the rest of your mission cards, you shuffle them, put them in a deck here, draw the top card as your first mission. Then you're going to draw your starting hand of cards. For a normal difficulty game, start with 5 cards in your hand. For a hard game, only start with 4, and for an impossible game, just start with 3. When the cards are in your hand, you flip them over to their movement side. Otherwise, they're going to stay on their mission side. And that's it. We are ready to begin. In order to win the game, we need to complete 7 missions before running out of cards in our hand. The trick is we only get to draw a card into our hand if we complete a mission. We can also draw a card by using this special ability on this module, but I will describe those in a little bit. Right now, our active mission is to drill. And in order to complete it, we need to arrange our modules exactly as shown in the picture. The picture shows one of the modules, the motor module. That's going to need to be in the bottom center there. And then the other 5 are going to need to be in that configuration in any order. So we need to move these modules around to get them into that shape. And that's where we use our movement cards here. There's a top number and a bottom number. When we play a movement card, we're going to get the top amount of movement points unless we have met this requirement in the center. If we do, then we get the bottom amount of movement points. And right off the bat, I see that we've met this requirement. You can see here, we have the gripper and 2 cards in each of the bottom corners. So we have this configuration. It doesn't matter where the other modules are. So I say, let's go ahead and play this card, because right now we're going to get 4 movement points instead of 2, and that's going to be super valuable. Each of these modules moves in a slightly different way, and you can tell by the arrows here in the center of each module. I'll explain their movement as we move them. Keep in mind that when you do your movement, these modules have to be adjacent to each other at all times, either orthogonally or diagonally. Actually, taking a look at this for a second, I'm not going to play that card yet. I'm going to play this card. We've not met that middle condition, so we're only going to get the 1. But that's all I'm going to need in order to achieve that pattern. Now, that seems impossible at first, but each of these modules has a special ability, and we're going to use one of them right off the bat. These are all one-time use. And right here, on the laser module, its special ability is to swap any 2 modules. So we're going to use that. We're going to flip it over to its side to show that we've used its special ability. And we are going to swap these 2 modules. And now that we've done that, we can use our 1 movement point to move this module. It can move 1 space, but it can also push other modules around when it moves. So if I were to move it this way, it would actually push this one over like that. Or if I move this way, it would push it like that. But this time we don't need to push anything. We just need to move it down 1 space like that. You have to imagine we're on sort of an invisible grid here. So that was my 1 movement point, and as you can see, diagonally adjacent counts, so this is completely legitimate. And look at that, we've met the mission requirements. So we can discard this card. We've used up all the points on that one. And when you complete a mission, you take the top card of your deck, You put it over here. That becomes your new mission. You create a lovely little panorama there. And you get to draw a card. A new movement card into your hand. Keep in mind that the maximum number of cards that you can have in your hand is 5. And we started the game with 5 cards because we're going to play on the normal difficulty. Okay, this scan mission is definitely going to be a little bit more difficult. I haven't quite figured it out yet, but I tell you what, we're going to play this movement card because we have this pattern. So we're still going to get that 4. Let's just go ahead and do it. I think it's going to take us at least 4 movement to make this happen. I'm going to kind of wing it here. I want to move this up 1. And now these cards have a cute little thing on them. You can see in the corners here along the sides, there's these little notches. And so you can kind of count how many movement points you've used by turning the card. So we're starting at that little 4 mark there. We used up 1 movement point to move that up. So we now have 3 left. I think what I want to do now is move the laser. Now you can see these arrows here going all along the sides. That arrow means that it can move as far as you want it to move in that one direction, in any one direction. And it can even pass over other modules. So we can do this, and for 1 movement point, we can move it past that one and over to here. So we have 2 remaining. We now just need to get these 2 cards, boom, boom, up there, and we got it. But that's going to be a little bit more difficult than you might think. Mostly because this one can only move 1 space. And this one, this coil, has a really odd way of moving. It can move pretty much exactly like the laser, but the coil has to move past another card. So we couldn't just put it like here or here. It has to jump over a card at some point. The coil is arguably the most difficult module to move around and to get into place. Maybe there's a clever way of doing it, but I'm not sure what it would be. I think we're just going to have to brute force this. For 1, I'm going to move this up there. Then for my last movement point for this card, I'm going to move this up like that. It can do that because it passed over a module. Okay, everything is connected and we're all good. So we've used up that card and we have to play another one. Doesn't look like we're meeting any of the conditions on our movement cards, so we're going to get the lower number. That is okay because I think we are 2 steps away. So we're going to be a little wasteful here, but let's play this card for the 3 movement, and let's just go 1, and then 2. And there we go. We have met the scan configuration. Now we're going to complete the mission. We're going to lose the 1. We had 1 extra movement point here. We're going to have to lose it. We don't get to keep that. We have to discard this in order to complete the mission. Okay, so this goes up there. We get to draw a card. Because it took us 2 movement cards to do that, we're now down to 4 cards in our hand because we only get to draw 1. But there's this handy dandy little power right here, which is just draw 1 movement card. Now the question we have to ask ourselves is, do we want to do that now? Because we can look ahead to see what our next mission will be when we complete that one. And if we don't want that one, we could collect it as a movement card and use the next one. Now look at this jump. Wow, that looks difficult. I tell you what, I don't think this mission goes very well with that one, so I am going to play this right now. You can play these special abilities on these modules at any time. So we're going to draw a card. Bridge doesn't look that much better, but that's okay. Okay, looking at this, I think I can do this in 4 moves, which is a shame because we have 3s and 2s. Now, if we were meeting any of these, but we aren't, and I don't think we're going to, I think I'm just going to have to play these 2 2s. Yeah, okay. So we'll play this first 2, and I want to go 1, the brain is able to just move orthogonally, but it's got those arrows, so it can move as far as it wants in that direction, skipping over modules. So that'd be 1, and then it'll just hop up here for 2. Oh no, wait a minute. No, we don't want to do that. That's 1, and then that's 2. There we go. That's what I'm trying to do. That can move like that because it skipped over a module. And now we'll play this other 2. We're going to move this, and this, remember, moves 1 space and can push. So that's 1. For the second move, this brain can go up here. And there we go. We've achieved jump status. So that's another mission complete, our third one. This bridge becomes our new mission. I want this panorama to be perfect. There we go. We get to draw a card, but our deck has run out, so we take this. We don't shuffle it. We just flip it over, and it becomes our new deck. And then we draw the card. Oops, upside down. There we go. We're close to both of these patterns. We just had something right here, or right here. We're also close to this, but we're not close enough. Okay, this one's been kind of difficult to figure out. I have an extremely complicated plan that I think will work. We'll see. I'm going to use this for the 1, which might seem weird, but I'm going to go all the way down like that. That was the 1 movement. Done. Now we have this pattern right here. So I'm going to play this for the 5 movement. I'm going to go 1, 2. This thing can move only diagonally. Then going to go 3. Apparently I need the modules in my brain repositioned because I missed this very clear rules violation. As I've said several times, after every move, all modules must be orthogonally or diagonally adjacent and in one connected group. In other words, not like this. But luckily, my plan still works. I just kind of did it in the wrong order. Here, let me show you. It's actually pretty simple. For the first of my 5 movement points, I need to move the brain module down 1 space, then activate its special ability to move the gripper adjacent to the brain, putting it in its required position. Then I needed to use my second move to get the sensor module up and left. I could then use the third move to send the motor left, which would push the brain right here. Then move the brain down for the 4th move, and the motor left for the 5th and final move, and boom! I have completed the bridge mission. See? Simple. Oh, wait a minute. If I just move the motor to the left first, then move the brain up, then it's exactly the same, and it works perfectly. So I actually did just move them in the wrong order. Man, I think I really overthought this. Sorry for the mistake! I'm then going to use the brain's special ability, which is to place any module adjacent to the brain. And we'll use this one. So you can do that between your movement, right? I believe I have 2 movement left. I should be keeping track of it like that, but I'm pretty sure I have 2 movement left. So we're just going to go 4, 5. Boom. And there you go. We have the bridge. Our new mission is to climb. And we get to draw a card. Oh, yeah, we're in really good shape for this one. In fact, I could do this one without even playing a card. Our next one would be navigate. Let's think about this for a second. Man, there's a lot of thought that goes into this. Ooh, not a terrible one, to be honest. Maybe a little tricky. Once again, the coil ruins everything. But does it? Actually, I think it's going to be okay. Okay, I've been trying to come up with all these crazy ways of doing things. There's a very simple way of doing it, and I think it is allowed in the rules, but I'm not entirely sure. But I think it is, so I'm going to go with it. Right now, before playing any cards, I want to activate these module special abilities. And in the rulebook, it says you can do it before or after a move. The only question I have is, can I do it before I even play a movement card? It seems like I can, so I'm going to do that. I'm going to use this one, shift any module 1 space. Well, okay, let's shift this one right up here. I'm then going to use the coil special ability, which is to just move the coil to a different location. So we'll do it right there. And boom, we got it. We've completed that mission. So we'll put this out and draw a card. I think that's legitimate. I'm not 100% sure, but I think it is, so we're going to go with it. Now, right now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 completed missions. This is going to be our 6th, and then we need one more after that. The problem is we've used all of our special abilities except for this one, which is you can use an adjacent module special ability, even if you've already used it. And that's an interesting one because we could copy this one and draw another movement card. So we've reset back to 5. That is interesting. In fact, that's very interesting. The only thing that's keeping me from wanting to do that is I know how difficult it is to move this coil, and we might need to use the coil special ability again just to move it where it needs to go. So I think I might hesitate for now. Now, what I do notice right away is that we are meeting the pattern on this card right here. So we could get 5 movement points, and that is definitely of interest. If the deck is ever empty, you flip it over and put it over here. And that's very handy because it shows us what our next potential mission is going to be, and it's one with the coil in a very specific location. That's not great. Of course, if we use this right now and draw that card, then we'll have a different mission. Tempted. Although it kind of works with the navigate. Okay, I think we'll hold on to it for now because we can play this and get 5 movement. Now, how are we going to do this? I don't know if I mentioned this before, but you cannot flip or turn or mirror any of these patterns. You have to do it exactly as it shows on the card. Well, I tell you what, we're going to play this regardless, because we're going to get those 5 movement points. It's probably going to take at least 5 to get done what we need to get done. This is rough. We need to form a couple of pillars here. This thing can only move diagonally, so it's kind of maybe in our best interest to leave it where it is. Yeah, the coil. The coil is going to be a problem as always. Well, if we move this here, then we have this part of the leg, right? I like that as a start. Then it's just a matter of getting these over here, which is maybe not as big of an issue as I think. Okay, yeah, let's do this. That's going to move there. That's 1 movement point. 1 of my 5, so I have 4 left. I mean, this thing could just go boop, 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 and be right in position if there was something here. Okay, so we could just go, oh no, but then, see, I can't move that, or then that will be orphaned. Well, this could also move here. Oh, and then go all the way down, but then that needs to come over. Okay, this could go 1, 2. Okay, that works. This can go here. That's 1. 2 here. So we have 2 more left. For 1, this can go all the way down here. And unfortunately, we can't mirror this, like I just said. But that's okay. For our last one, this can move here. And we're done. I did not think I was going to be able to pull that off. Boom. We completed it. So then we get that. We're on our last mission. We get to draw this into our hand. We have 4 cards. Okay. This could happen. And this doesn't look terrible, you know what I mean? Oh, I got it. I got it. I see it. I see it immediately. This is so good. I think we just need 2. We may not even need that much because all I have to do is move this here. Right? That's 1. Everything is connected. We're fine. That was 1 movement. Oh, it's going to take a little bit more than I'm thinking. But here, this. I flip that. I'm going to use the ability on the coil because you can use an adjacent ability, even one that's already been used. This is just to place this in any valid location. So I'll put it right there. Oh, that can only move diagonally. That's a problem. That's definitely a problem. But if we put this here instead, then that's in position. Yeah, this is a little scruffy, but it'll be fine. Then for 2, we'll bring this down here. Okay. Still not meeting any of these. That's fine. We'll just use the 3. For 1 movement, we're going to push. And when you push, everything gets pushed. So we're just going to go like that. And then we're going to go 2. And then we're going to go 3. And there you go. We've done it. 7 missions complete. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And we did it. We won the game. So that is a complete game of ROVE. Now, again, we were playing on the normal difficulty. We started with 5 cards in our hand. You could play on a harder difficulty by just starting with 4, or an impossible difficulty by just starting with 3. And there's a bunch of different expansions that you can get for the game that add a bunch of different cards. Let me show you briefly what some of these expansions offer. The expansion collection offers 3 different expansion modules that you can play with. The Cosmic Crisis, the Alien Activities, and the Icy Incidents. Each of these expansions has 6 mission cards that you can add to the regular base game mission cards. The Cosmic Crisis pack has mission cards with these little danger icons, which basically means you have to use no more than 1 movement card in order to complete them. They also have anti-patterns on the back. So in order to get the bonus movement there, you have to make sure you don't have cards in those positions. Definitely adds a bit of a wrinkle. The Alien Activities expansion has unique patterns, but it has this new effect where rather than getting bonus movement, you have a standard amount of movement per card, but when you play this movement, all of your modules move in the same way as the module that's depicted on the card. And the Icy Incidents, they also just offer a fixed number of movement rather than the bonus movement, but they actually freeze certain modules, preventing you from moving those modules in a direct way. Another 6-card pack, the Fascinating Flora expansion, gives you 6 new mission cards, and on these cards, if you manage to match the pattern, you're going to get the movement points below and get to refresh a spent module that's shown there. Just like the other modules, you can mix it in with the base game, and you can even include multiple of these modules if you'd like. And the last little bit of expansion content is this reconfigured expansion pack, which is 6 new module cards that have different special abilities. And there you go, that is ROVE. Thank you so much for watching, and goodbye.